Hi everyone, Anthony Fantano here, internet's busiest music nerd. And it's time to kind of give a roundup of some of my favorite albums of this month. For me, April has been extremely fruitful in terms of fantastic albums. Let's run down some of my favorites. For one, the new self-titled Zammuto LP, fronted by ex-member of the Books, Nick Zammuto. A very fun, colorful, and experimental pop and rock album that sticks in the back of my head just because there are so many different sounds and textures and abstract ideas flowing throughout, but it's so catchy. Next, the new High on Fire record, Vermis, Mysteriis. Look, it's their latest album. It's extremely heavy, aggressive, pummeling, and all the more memorable for it. Really great riffs, fantastic guitar solos. The band has definitely released one of their darkest records this time around. Next, BADBADNOTGOOD's BBNG2. These guys are a Canadian jazz trio that cover electronic music, hip-hop music, reinterpreting it in a classic jazz fashion, but they have all of these really interesting production techniques that make them more akin to beat music producers in a way. Not only is this thing a free download, but it's also one of my favorite albums of this year, and one of my favorite jazz albums for a while. Also released this month, Spiritualized's Sweetheart, Sweet Light. These guys are a UK rock group that incorporate tons of extra instrumentation into their songs. Piano, brass, strings, woodwinds. But that doesn't really suck the energy or the emotion out of their tracks. In fact, I think it empowers some of their songs, especially on the lead single to this LP, Hey Jane, which ends in this really noisy, cacophonous, psychedelic Baroque jam. Hardcore fans may not see it as amazing as the band's previous work, but I still think it's a really solid release. A noise rock album from the Brooklyn band, White Suns, Sinews. From what I understand, this is the group's sophomore LP. If you like your noise to be more noise than rock, be very disjointed and intense, then this is the album for you. This next release may end up being one of my favorites of this year. We will see. Death Grips the Money Store, an extremely abrasive and experimental, just boundary shoving hip-hop album that is very uncompromising. Incorporates elements of noise, industrial, electronic music, as well as rock and hip-hop, all in this very overwhelming mishmash of ideas that I have yet to see a hip-hop album create in this way, with this level of intensity. And finally, one of the most bright and uplifting metal albums I have heard in a while, Torche's Harmonicraft. These guys make metal music that is so heavy but heavenly, so pummeling but also positive. I think it could make it really easy for people who aren't even really fans of metal to get into this easily, enjoy the riffs, enjoy the hooks, just enjoy the vibe, the sound, the richness of the music on this album. And that was quick. Those are my picks pretty much for this month of my favorite LPs released in April. What do you guys think? Did you like any of these albums? Did you hate them? And what other albums did you enjoy this month? And I mean, really enjoyed. Thanks for watching. Recommendations? You're the best. Forever.